Today on Mr. Nashville Talks, Bluegrass and Gospel Music's Nathan Stanley.
I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling round the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps a-rolling on down the San Antonio.
Nathan's grandfather is the late great bluegrass king, Dr. Ralph Stanley. So you could say that Nathan grew up on a tour bus, and he soaked up everything his grandfather could teach him. Nathan's travels have led him to perform for presidents and even the Queen of England. Today, Nathan will tell us what's on the horizon for him as he travels, carrying on the legacy of Dr. Ralph Stanley and making his own place in the sun. Well, I am so excited to have you here, Nathan.
It's great to be here.
You just have blessed me with your music and so many people, and you're making that new generation of bluegrass music, and you come from royalty.
I do.
And you started singing. First of all, tell everybody who your grandfather is if they don't know.
Well, my grandfather is bluegrass legend, Dr. Ralph Stanley, and I don't like to limit him to bluegrass because so many people outside of the bluegrass genre and the country, rock and roll, pop, the gospel, they all love and know Dr. Ralph Stanley because his voice and sound is so distinctive.
Yes.
They will never be another voice like his.
Right.
I mean, you have your very few artists, especially these days. You got, for me, you got Dr. Ralph Stanley, you got Dolly Parton,
yes.
you had George Jones, you had Elvis Presley.
Yes.
They are nobody that can top those people.
Well, they're originals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now everybody sounds the same. We got to sound as good as the last person, and it's just very generic. We don't have like Fred Poster just went into the Hall of Fame, and look at all the great people he signed that were their voice was so different, like Dolly and Jeannie Seeley and Roy Orbison. So yeah, I get what you're saying, and I wish it would get back to that, the music industry.
Me too. And one thing my papa always taught me. See, I started traveling with my papa Ralph when I was 2 years old.
Right.
And the first stage that I ever went on was the Ryman Auditorium here in Nashville. And of course I had no idea how important the stage was or how important the place was until I got a little older. But all I knew is I was with Papa, and that's where I wanted to be because he's been the only father figure I've ever known. He raised me, and so I just love him with all my heart. But he always has told me, never copy anybody.
Right.
You can have your influences, and you can have the styles you like, but you create your own. You mix them, but create your own. And so when I go to sing a song, whether if I'm covering a song, whether it be a Ralph Stanley song or a George Jones song, I don't listen to how they phrase it.
Right.
Because I can't do it that way.
Right.
I got to sing it from my heart, and it's got to come forth the way that I feel it.
Right.
And
you gotta be
it's
you.
natural. It's natural.
And that's why people are drawn to you, I think, because you are distinctive, you are an original. And can you remember when you were on that stage, when you were a little kid, did you remember any of the other people who were there at all? Does anybody, any of the other performers at the Opry? Or just
Little Jimmy Dickens.
Oh, well,
because I have a picture, and it's so cool because I have two pictures of Little Jimmy, who was a great guy and a great friend.
Yeah.
I have a picture of him leaning down with his arm around me, and then I have a picture of me leaning down with him and taking a picture with him once I got older and taller than he was.
Well, you mentioned him. I have a picture. I cherish it. It's me, Jimmy, and your grandfather.
Oh my God!
I'm in between them, and then I have some pictures of them talking.
I would love to see that.
I'll give them to you. I'll give you some because I have some of them together talking backstage at the Opry. So that's neat. That you mentioned Jimmy. You've got the Stanley Music Group that's making music and overseas. So, tell us about it because you're the CEO, right?
Yeah, I am the CEO of Stanley Music Group, and we have Darlene Fowler, who is the director of A&R, and I'll just oversees everything. But we are a company that promotes, of course, myself and my papa, Dr. Ralph Stanley, and we also do artist development, and we also help bring artists who we think deserve a chance to be heard to the forefront. And when we put their music out to, music row stations, to gospel stations, bluegrass, secondary country, and we do all kinds of different services, music videos, radio tours, and everything. And so I'm very proud of that. That's my latest endeavor. And
are you looking for artists, or you already have them?
We are looking for artists. So
I know a lot of people watching. Contact Nathan.
Contact us, and it's Darlene Fowler, and we're on Facebook, Stanley Music Group, and you can find our number somewhere on there.
Yeah, we're going to put everything up.
Great.
And you're probably seeing it right now. Tell me about your video about your grandfather, you and the song, and you wrote it, correct?
Darlene Fowler, who your good
buddy,
friend, that's your buddy and my buddy, and she is my manager and helps oversee Stanley Music Group and everything.
Yeah.
I told her I wanted a song about Papa. I had already wrote one called Papa, I Love You, and it was on one of my previous albums, but the one you're talking about is called He'll Always Be Papa to Me. And I had this tune and this melody in my head, and so I sent it to Darlene, and I said, Darlene, okay, write this song for me. And Darlene knows me better than anybody.
Yeah, she loves you too.
And I love her. And so she wrote exactly, it was like she was just looking right at my heart and knew what my heart was trying to say, and she wrote it that way. And we have a music video out for it now. It's on YouTube and all the online sites, but it's going to be on my new album, which is titled Controversial Man. But
I was going to ask you about the song Controversial Man, because I heard I haven't got to hear it yet, but I know about it. And I know the story about it. So can you give us a little sneak peek and talk about it? Or?
Absolutely. Well, Darlene again. Darlene's my songwriter.
Yeah.
So I called Darlene. See, I live in Coburn, Virginia, and she lives here in Nashville and oversees everything. I said, Darlene, I need a song titled Controversial Man, and I need you to write it for me. Well, she keeps stalling. She kept stalling. And I'd ask her, I said, you got that song wrote? I'm working on it. And she wasn't working on it. She was trying to she was hoping I was going to forget.
Yeah.
And so finally one night I messaged her. I said, have you got the song ready? She said, I'll have it tonight. And she said that she'd sit down, and in about 20-30 minutes she had it.
Despised and rejected, I've been loved and I've been hated. I am a controversial man. Life is filled with unanswered questions, things that we don't really understand. Controversial man, please God help this controversial man.
And the reason I wanted Controversial Man is because I'm beginning to be known as somebody who is not afraid to speak what I feel is right.
Right.
I'm one that just don't go with the flow. I don't like fitting in.
Yeah.
I don't like, just going this way because it's easier. I take my own route, even if it may ruffle a few feathers, and I have, but it's just me being me.
Being true to yourself.
And being true to myself, and standing up for what I think is right and what I believe in. And so Controversial Man, it just was a perfect title, I thought, and it's a great song. And actually this past few days we've been here in Nashville making a music video for it.
Yeah, it's all great.
And so we're just very excited about it, and the song is so great. I can't wait for you to hear it.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it. Going back to what you just said, you recently got to sing and endorsed Donald Trump.
Yes, sir.
Now, aside from politics, what was he like? What do people don't know?
People don't know that off camera and behind closed doors, he's a very quiet, humble man.
Yes.
He really is. And he is a generous man. He is so generous. He's a billionaire and has many great things going for him, but he has not forgot of who has put him there, and he has not forgot that when you help people, that's the best reward you can get, is helping people. And he has. There's so many things that he has done that the media will not pick up on.
Right. Well, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we know how that works with any of the candidates. There, you know, and it is what it is with that for some reason. But now let me ask you: you got a movie coming out? I want to make sure to get that in.
Yeah.
Tell me about that and what it's about, where we can see it.
Well, it's a Christmas movie, and the title of it is Believe. And what it's about this gentleman who inherits his grandfather, which his grandfather raised him, which is, I was like, hello, you know.
Your story.
And he owned this small company in this small country town, and it goes bankrupt after his grandfather dies, and everybody's mad at him. And you know, it's just a great story. It's about faith. It's all about lifting up Jesus Christ. And so when they contacted me, they was already shooting, and I met with them, and I said, okay, you know, we'll talk about it. I didn't think nothing would come of it. I really didn't. But a week later, they called my good friend and business manager. He helps oversee business and things in Virginia, Jeff McCracken. And he said, they want you.
That's great.
And so this actor, which is Ryan Oquin, he's originally from Grundy, Virginia, about an hour from where I'm from, now lives in Hollywood. He told the producers that he wanted to take this movie to his hometown and in Southwest Virginia, because everything that they were looking for in the people, in the culture, in the atmosphere, was in Southwest Virginia. And so he brought it home. Well, the opening scene of the movie is going to be this big Christmas festival that he has every year that his company has put on. And I'm the entertainment for it.
Oh, that's
and
great.
so we've done that. There was over 2,000 people there for that event.
That's awesome.
And Christmas lights is beautiful. And then there's several scenes where I have to appear as like an Elvis impersonator, which I love Elvis, so you know, so that was great. And then they called us back for a second day of filming, and I'm going to be in several scenes in the movie, but one in particular, when a little boy is on stage telling about Jesus and this Christmas play with all these. It's a big choir full of children, and a big nativity scene, and there's an angel that goes up just goes up in the sky, and I'm with the main actress, and I just kind of pull my glasses down and look, and that's going to be one of the closing scenes. So it's going to be
very
cool.
Powerful.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
Very
well,
powerful.
we need more of that, you know. And before we go, because I know you have to be different places, and I'm so thankful for you giving us this time.
Oh, it was
But
great.
tell me about you've got a new album coming out. When this got Controversial Man, all these songs that we talked about. When is it due? Do you know?
In about 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
In about 2 months, yeah, because we have a duet on there with me and Patty Lovelace.
Oh,
who I
wow.
love.
Yeah, I love Patty.
And
now, who's your dream duet? Because you recorded with a lot of great people.
My dream duet is Dolly Parton.
Dolly,
I need to sing with you. One quick story: when I was 7 years old at the Grand Ole Opry, her and Vince Gill was hosting these. I think it was the 75th anniversary, and me and Papa was walking through the hallway, and Dolly was doing an interview. Well, when I walked by her, I was just little. She reached out and grabbed me and said, "Hey, you!" Well, I took off running because I was so embarrassed and so shy. And my mama said, "Why'd you run?" I said, "That's Dolly Parton."
Yeah.
But I just think there are no other voice like hers, and that's my all-time.
sweetest person too.
Yeah, I've met her a couple times, and that's my all-time favorite.
But we have to work on that. Dolly, we got to do it.
I love you, Dolly. I love you.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
coming
Larry.
and spending this time with
God
me.
bless you, my friend.
Big fan of your whole family.
Thank you so much. Great being
God
here with
bless
you.
you.
God bless you.
I hope you enjoyed today's show at Nathan Stanley. If you'd like to enter for a chance to win his new movie, Believe, go to our website, www.mrnashvilletalks.com. And while you're there, check out our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all our fun things, and we'll just talk with you all night long.